I'm 26 years old. I graduated from a prestigious university, have a bachelor's degree, and right now I'm unemployed and living with my parents. Had to move back home, and what I'm hearing is that this is a story that's being echoed pretty much throughout the country, and particularly with students that are here. People have thousands and thousands of dollars of loans to pay back, and can't afford to do that.
I'm a college student, and tuition is really high. Whereas back then, you can go to school, have room and board for only $10,000, which nowadays you can't get that. And within the past 5 years, I just learned that tuition has gone up over 30%. That's a huge percentage, and it's only going to keep going high unless we make a difference. My dad, who's a painter, he's been working in New York City, and then he just got laid off. A lot of times, people who work the average job, they have nothing to show for it.
I'm 21 years old. I graduated from high school. I can't afford college. I don't know what I'm going to do for a decent job. I can't afford health care. And I'm scared, things have got to change. My dad's working nights at Walmart because he can't get a decent job either. And my mom is trying to get into the medical field. She's in school. There's no democracy left in America. That's what they want you to think. That's what the politicians want you to think. But no, not anymore.
There's just a total disconnect between, the majority of Americans and the top tiers of this country.
I think the criminals, the executives who have stolen money need to be brought to justice. I think they need to be drug out onto the streets and handcuffed like the rest of us. We're being screwed over by these politicians and big businesses who think that they can just get away with murder, They think that we don't matter, that we don't need to have decent health care, They don't need to keep us alive, that we don't need decent housing. We can just live on the streets and die, It's time that there's a little justice. As you can see, it's not exactly concise. They need to get a little more finite and a little more detailed and get a little more political discussion going instead of just people having fun and protesting for whatever they want to.
This is the first steps of creating a dialogue that is not controlled and cannot be controlled by the two big corporate parties, the oligarchy in this country. Some of these big unions endorsed this movement on Wednesday, and I wanted to get a sense of if that was going to catch on or not, because in my opinion these unions basically want to turn this thing into their own agenda, which is going to be an Obama 2012 re-election agenda, and it really seems like folks are rejecting that entire notion. We need a movement built up from the ground, right? From workers, students, with a really internationalist perspective. Whether or not you want to put a name to what's moving forward, it's going to be built on certain principles, and those principles are first an internationalist perspective, because we're seeing this not only in this country but throughout the world. Okay, and two, a social agenda. Okay, meaning we're putting social needs, human needs, before profit. Period. Infrastructure, healthcare, education, those types of things. So a socialist and internationalist perspective really is where it's coming from.
I think socialism is worth a shot. Like I said, obviously capitalism ain't working, so, what's next?
In my 26 years of life, if there's one thing I'm certain about, is that capitalism has failed. It's not failing, okay? It has failed. I watched my mom, who had a working class factory job at TRW for 25 plus years, lose her job under Bill Clinton, okay? Bill Clinton, Democrat. We had 8 years of George Bush. We know what that did. Now we've had, we're getting close to 4 years of Barack Obama. Capitalism has failed. The two-party system in this country has failed, and I think folks are really waking up to that reality.